And now, another wonderful episode of Uninformed. This episode's topic is going to be publicity.
Hey, sometimes things go bad and your back's against the wall. Some guy wants to throw his hands up and say, that's all. But it's not if you've got a good PR man.
That's fucking horrific.
Spin, spin, spin. Spin means that you win. Spin.
Joe DeRosa, everybody. Joe's in a singing mood. I thought you were going to go with publicity. We got to find a sales. All right, we're annoying people with our out-of-tune singing. This is Uninformed. No reading, no research, just strong opinions. You know, just like every cunt you know down there in the bar, right?
That's right.
They get their arm going like this as they're trying to make a fucking point.
That's right. And
as they fucking tread water in the cesspool of their own life. There you go, Joe.
Cunts,
little poetry.
By cunts, we mean women.
Yes, we do.
All
in the most
women, every
the
one
most
of them.
hurtful, disrespectful, chauvinistic way we can.
Every last one of those.
Yeah, we're going to talk.
Dirty birds.
Us two morons. I love that you just slammed your fucking toe against the coffee table. That's for everybody listening to your awful fucking singing.
That hurt.
You told me you wanted to sing a song about publicity, Joe. I thought it was going to be a little 8-second ditty. I didn't know you were going to do a fucking double album, Allman Brother thing.
I was kind of making it up in the shower. I got some of the rhymes down.
Oh, there you go, Joe. You're like Jay-Z. It's all in your head.
Yeah.
It's all in your head, Joe. All right, so we're actually going to talk this episode of Uninformed. We're going to talk about publicity because Joe, we see a lot of stars lately. A lot of the stars out there that, they're running into a lot of bullshit lately because everybody's got a cell phone camera. Everybody's got stuff recorded. You can't even leave a phone message now.
Right.
Somebody can think about that back in the day, Joe. If you were dating some starlet in the early 70s, let's just really go big here with the fantasy. Let's just picture that you're successful at any point in time in the history of mankind, all right? And you're dating Kate Jackson. She's on the Rookies. She's young. She's wide-eyed, right?
Yeah.
You wanted to put it in her ass the night before. She didn't let you. So what do you do? What do? You go off on her fucking answering machine.
Yeah.
What can she do other than play it to her invite other people to sit through L.A. traffic and wind their way up the fucking Palisades Mountains to get to her fucking goddamn place and listen to it, right?
Yeah. And if she's got those answer machine messages, she's got pictures of your cock somewhere, too. I know it's the 70s, Bill.
It's the 70s. Oh, yeah, that instant Polaroid, right?
But they got it. Yeah, she fanned out a fucking picture of your cock.
What can she do with them other than invite people over and show them? What I'm saying, Joe, is there's really no firestorm back there. What are the odds one of her friends will have like a reel-to-reel record? Oh, no, one of those little recorder things. Where could you send it to? You'd have to then...
What is one of those little recorder things? What the fuck are you talking about?
Back in the day when you had it was shaped like a rectangle, and there was 5 buttons, and the record button was always a different color, and then you had like a little cassette tape in there. So what you'd have to do, I don't know I don't know where you could even make copies. You have to take that one copy and then take it to a news station. Yeah. And then they'd be like, we can't play this. He keeps saying, fuck you in the ass, you overrated cunt. We can't play this anywhere.
The news station would probably be like, we don't have the technology to play an audio cassette tape on the air. What the hell do you think this is, NASA?
Exactly. So what we're saying is because, dude, I heard back in the day, there was a certain comedian used to wear Hawaiian shirts.
Jeez.
No, not that one. He had a golf back fur. They had golf clubs. He always had a golf club. Not going to say who it is.
Jeez.
He performed for all these presidents and for troops and all that. I heard a little fucking rumor about that guy. He liked the chicks a little young.
Yeah.
Not. I'm talking like 15, 16. Those chicks you see walking down the street. You go, God damn, and then you see their parents. You're like, oh fuck, she's only 15. You got to fucking look away.
Right.
Or if you're Anthony, you drive your SUV over with both parents. Hit the automatic hatchback, and she jumps right in. Yeah, he liked them a little young.
Yeah, so...
young, so what he would do, evidently, was he would go to gay clubs with them because he knew what little paparazzo there was back then.
That's right.
Yeah, he basically went out on the town with underage girls, from what I heard.
That's right.
From one of the sleuths out there.
Allegedly.
Selling the celebrity maps.
Right.
You could dude, Rock Hudson...
Well, think about that.
Rock Hudson was out there fucking blowing guys for decades.
Nobody
Taking
knew.
it in the
Nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
Yeah.
The technology wasn't there.
There
It
was
all
privacy back then, Bill. You could hide out. You could hide it. For fuck's sake.
people couldn't sneak cameras in, Joe. They were the size of your fucking head.
You could do that shit in a straight bar, for Christ's sake. How many fucking reporters did I mean, 3 leaked. About 3 news stories leaked about Sinatra beating a reporter in his fucking chin in the middle of a bar. How many times did that really happen?
And everybody just went, that's old Frank.
It probably happened at least 20 more times.
Oh, exactly.
And he just knocked the guy down to the fucking ground in a rage.
Just kicked the starch right out of the guy's shirt. Back then they dressed so well. But nowadays, Joe, Jesus Christ, you even look at some girl the wrong fucking way. Her friends have like a 3-camera shoot, like a fucking sitcom.
That always goes back to the cunts, Bill.
It always goes back to the cunts, Joe. Just laying there like a crater. Like some ancient meteor just hit the ground in the middle of Arizona.
So that's the whole thing.
And they built a town around it.
That's the whole thing is that, these guys get in this position now. It's unavoidable. What do you do when your back's against the wall? What do you do? And the best fucking spin that I've ever seen.
How would you get? Okay, go ahead.
Well, the best one I've ever seen, and it wasn't even like it was a huge scandal or anything, but that guy Lars von Trier, the German director,
the drummer from Metallica.
Yeah, that guy. That's the Greek that runs the butcher shop, right? So this guy Lars von Trier, German director, very well respected director, makes this movie called Antichrist with Willem Dafoe, and I forget the actress's name that was in it. It was just there was only 2 people in the.
How long ago?
Well, it came out like a year ago.
It's called Antichrist?
It's called Antichrist.
What's it about?
It's a horror movie. I couldn't tell you what the fuck this movie's about.
You saw it.
It starts with it's about a couple that their kid dies. The kid falls out, the 3-year-old kid falls out a window and dies because they're fucking in the other room and not watching him.
It's the Eric Clapton story.
Yeah. So, Jesus Christ.
Sorry, Joe. I saw a joke there. I just went for it.
So they're banging in the other room, not watching him. The kid falls out the window and dies, right? So then the chick starts going crazy. Willem Dafoe plays a therapist, but he's married to her, so he takes her into treatment. He brings
married to who?
The chick. They're a married couple.
Oh, so it's Willem Dafoe's kid?
In the movie, yeah. It's just,
so
it's
they're
this
fucking.
couple.
So now his wife, who was banging him while their toddler fell out the window, is now going to go to her husband for therapy?
Exactly.
And then he pretends like he doesn't remember that they were fucking?
No. He's like, I'm going to try to treat you because you're in such bad shape and I love you and you're my wife.
Okay.
Takes her up to this cabin. All this crazy shit starts happening, blah, 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 blah. Now, in this movie, they show full-on penetration. They show that close-up penetration. It's a beautifully shot film. It really is. But this is what they do in the movie.
Porno.
They show penetration. They show the woman at the end. She cuts her own clitoris off, and they show it. They show a close-up of it, which is pretty brutal.
What?
She goes crazy. She beats William Dafoe at one point in the cock. She hits him in the cock with like a sledgehammer, and he passes out. And then she jerks him off when he's passed out. They show bloody jizz hitting her in the fucking chest. It's fucking nasty, dude. There's shit in this movie you like that you never want to see. It's gross, man. It's really fucking gross. So this guy, Lars von Trier, makes his artsy fucking, whatever, provocative film, takes it over to the Cannes Film Festival. It screens. I've watched footage on YouTube of the end of the screening. Half of the audience is booing the film. They're standing up and screaming at the fucking screen. They go to a press conference right after the screening. First question out of the gate. A reporter stands up. I think he's an English guy and goes, "Excuse me, Mr. Von Trier. I want you to explain to me what made you think it was okay to bring this movie to the Cannes Film Festival." Lars von Trier goes, "I don't have to explain that." The reporter starts screaming at him, "Yes, you do. Yes, you do. This movie is an atrocity." So a guy's got his back against the wall. What would we do, Bill? I'd panic. I wouldn't know what to fucking do.
Yeah.
Lars von Trier, in a moment of brilliant spin, goes, "You are all my guests here. It is not the other way around. I am the greatest filmmaker alive." shuts the guy down immediately. What the fuck do you do? That's it. That's it.
That's it? They didn't
Guy
have any
just-
more follow-up questions?
The clip ends there, but you just see the guy get defeated. He's just like, God damn it. What do? You can't.
Make yourselves at home. Have yourself a Triscuit.
Because that answer, if that guy commits to that answer, and you're like, all right, if he really believes that, I can't argue him anymore. If he really thinks those things, I can't argue him. That's it. He shut
That's
me down.
fucking brilliant.
There's no fault.
So you're thinking like that's the way Charlie Sheen and all these guys should handle their horse shit? Joe, let me ask you this, okay? Now that you've seen the master do it, Lars von Ulrich over there, all right? If you fucking, what's his face? Richard, fucking, Michael Richards.
Yeah.
All right? You in a moment of getting annoyed, you drop, 58, 59 fucking N-words?
Right.
How do you get out of that?
Look, I think he did the right thing by apologizing, but I think where he messed up was he was squirming, man. He was squirming. Even if, it's just like if you...
What was he supposed to? Yeah, I said it.
No, I don't think he should have done that. But it's like, even if you're completely in the wrong, like if you beat up a kid, if you're a bully and you beat up a kid in your neighborhood,
right,
and that kid didn't do anything wrong at all, if he comes back and he's being squirmy, you want to beat him up again. And that's what Michael Richards did. He made a huge mistake, dude. He fucked up big time.
That's such a fucked up analogy because that kid was the victim in that.
I know, but that's my point.
You know, if you walk into the club and you're black and somebody calls you the N-word and then you show up again the next day,
no, you're
still black.
No,
you're asking for it.
No, you're misunderstanding me. That's not
Joe,
what I'm
you're
saying.
not explaining it clearly.
What I'm saying is even somebody in a situation that has zero guilt, like a kid that got beat up by a bully, when that person squirms...
you went around the other way there, Joe.
Yeah, when that person squirms, it annoys you. So now you take a guy that's already unlikable because he fucked up royally, and he's squirming on top of it. It makes him
all right, so how would you
unlikable.
handle it, Joe? It's the next day.
He should have came
all
out...
right, you were the wacky next door neighbor. They brought back one day at a time, and you played that plumber guy.
Schneider? He should have came out...
You dropped the N-word, 12 times... Just like fucking Ricky Gervais. Michael Richards, right?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Okay, go ahead. Let me know. Fuck you. We're on a morning show. There's a coffee table right here. Just imagine there's some plants there. So here I am. I'm fucking...
I'm Michael Richards.
And I'm the male version of fucking Katie Couric, all right? I'm wearing slacks, but I have on pumps, and you're not going to address it because you're in a rough time here, all right?
Yeah.
Joe, obviously you know why you're here today.
Yes.
Take us through it. You were doing a set last night, and you were at one of these alternative comedy rooms where, of course, all the brilliant comics are because, you guys are just too smart for the comedy clubs.
No, I was at the Laugh Factory.
Oh, you're at the Laugh Factory. Okay, I'm sorry. So you're at the Laugh Factory.
Yes.
Was there a lot of laughs at the factory last night, Joe?
Well, no, there weren't. Barry, Katie Couric?
Michael Couric, who talks like
playing?
Katie. I don't know.
Maddie Couric.
Yes.
Maddie Couric. Well, Maddie, I got to tell you, we all know why I'm here, as you said already, and we all saw the tape.
Why would you think that was? Why do you think that is?
What?
You're here because you carpet bombed the N-word.
You fucking cunt.
I'm being a douche here. Let's do it. All right.
This is what I would say. I would go, look, we all know why I'm here. We all saw the tape. We all know I made a major mistake. I'm embarrassed of it.
Okay, back up a second. To say that it's a major mistake, I mean, John, you can't lose your cool here. You can't go Chris Brown on me.
I'm not. But let me...
No, they're not going to, Joe.
Oh, you're doing...
Joe,
I thought you were...
I don't give a fuck. I'm a TV personality.
I'm sorry. I thought you were jumping in his bill.
No, I don't give a shit what you said. I'm here for the ratings.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I want you to flip out.
Sorry. I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah, you carpet bombed the Laugh Factory with the N-word last night. It reminded me of the '68 Tet Offensive.
Yeah,
except with a racial slur. So
I'm aware. I was there, and
you were the bombardier.
Yeah, I know the mistake that I made, and I regret it greatly. But sometimes things get out of hand.
But to call that a mistake, I mean, you're driving down the street, you're supposed to go left, and you go right. I mean, in my world, that's a mistake. What you did, I mean, a lot of people out there, Joe, they view that as reprehensible, and in a lot of ways, they view it as something that there is no apology for.
Well, if
Do you
there's
feel that you can apologize for something
Maddie,
to this level?
Matthew,
Please.
if there's no apology for it, I don't know why you would have had me on the show here, unless you just want to come on to throw gasoline on the fire.
No,
if that's what you're interested in doing,
Look,
that's fine.
I mean, if you want to try
but
to
Maddie,
put this
I'm
on
here to
me,
say I'm sorry.
I'm here, no, not for you to apologize. We're trying to find out why you would do that, why you would revert to that.
Well, Maddie, I'm not proud of doing it. I'm not saying it was right, but my anger got the best of me, and sometimes we make grave mistakes. And much more grave mistakes have been made than what I did last night. Some people make mistakes where, there are car accidents or deaths or injuries and things of that nature.
But a car
people
accident
make
is
mistakes.
People
and
do make mistakes.
if we can believe that people on death row for murder or for crimes of violent nature can be forgiven and can redeem themselves, I certainly think I can redeem myself from the mistake I made last night.
So do you feel that you're a racist then? I mean, is that common for you that, if you screw up, you just yell effing Puerto Ricans? I mean, if something bad happens,
I don't.
Do you revert? No. See, that's the emotional gap that me and the viewers, we're trying to make this leap with you, that because you got mad that you reverted to those. I mean, are you the only half-white comedian? I don't exactly know what your background is. Let's just, for the show, say you are actually a full-on Caucasian. Have you ever been heckled or ever seen another white comedian heckled by someone of color?
Yes, I have.
And did they revert to just dropping the N-word?
No.
As if it was 400 degrees in their hands.
But I'll tell you
burning
something,
it.
Maddie. I'd like to know what I'd see if I got a video camera on you in your weakest moments.
Well, you wouldn't see that. I can tell you that.
Well, that remains to be seen.
Well, it does remain to be seen, but I can tell you if I did it, I would be sitting where you're sitting, and I'm not. So you can try and turn this around as much as you want. You don't sound very apologetic.
Are you a
here.
religious person,
I'm finding
Maddie?
you to be very combative here.
Are you a religious person,
Hang on a second.
Maddie?
We have to go to commercial. We're here with a very combative, racist Joe DeRosa. You fucking totally failed that.
No, I didn't.
I think I just got a morning talk show gig right there.
I didn't fail that.
Yeah, you did.
That's how that guy should.
Your eyebrows were down. You looked very unlikable.
Well, look, hold on. First of all,
fuck you racist.
That was you were going super aggressive, dude. You were going super aggressive. They let Michael Richards talk for 5 fucking minutes straight when he went on Letterman. He did a full-on fucking apology.
But he was squirming.
Yeah.
He was squirming. I'll let you squirm. You weren't squirming. You were sitting here like with your dick on the table like, yeah, I said it.
No, you can't. I'm telling you,
I'm
Bill.
never buying one of your albums again.
I'm telling you, you can't squirm, dude. You can't. You got to go, look, I fucked up and I'm sorry. Sorry. People make mistakes.
I
That's
don't know
it.
about that,
You
Joe.
have to do it that way. Well,
you know what would be great,
look
Joe?
what good it did him.
You know what?
I'm right, because look what good it did him.
You're not right.
It made him worse off. It made him worse off. People hated him more after
Joe,
that apology.
You haven't been where he's at and survived it. We just played pretend here, and you're trying to say that you're right.
Well, I can tell you this. The way he handled it was absolutely wrong. Maybe I'm not right with my way, but his way was definitely wrong. It did more damage to him. People were like,
well,
if you're going to Michael Richards on Letterman, oh, Christ. That's what everybody
You know what
said.
I think, Joe? This is how you handle something like that is you just go, look, there is no apology for it, and I don't ever expect anybody to ever forgive me for saying what I said. I'm 100% in the wrong. I lost my temper, and I was so mad at those people who were heckling me, and I was so humiliated that the way they were heckling me, I tried to hurt them the way I felt I was hurting and hurting, and I way overcompensated. Somebody shot an elastic at me, and I took out a bazooka. And but because the bazooka I used were racial slurs, I think this is going to probably kill my career. And it wouldn't surprise me if it did, and it's my own damn fault because I screwed up. That's what you do. Now, there's no way out of it. You've killed everything that they're going to ask you.
That's very good.
Do you think this is going to screw? Yes, I just said it is. So I'm here to say I'm sorry, and you know what? I feel bad for everybody who's on the show with me because and all those stupid pictures now everyone's going to look at and be like, oh, there's the 3 people and the guy who drops the N-word. So I feel bad for all of them. It's not how I was raised, but evidently I got some issues. I'm going to therapy, everybody. That's what you do. You walk out.
That's very good. Well, Bill, luckily, our guest today is an expert in this field.
Absolutely.
And he's going to be able to tell us who's right, who's wrong, who's up the middle.
Yes.
And how to do this for real. Stay tuned, folks. Tony Fox
He's coming up next.
Top publicist at Comedy Central for the last 20 years or something like that.
Go get yourselves a fucking English muffin and sit down, because we're about ready to talk to the one and only Tony Fox. And I got a feeling, Joe, I don't know why. It's almost like we already pre-recorded this segment or something, like I can see into the future. But I got a feeling, Joe, I'm going to give Tony a huge intro that he's going to feel like he can't even follow.
I feel like that might happen, too.
All right, so now that we've made complete asses of ourselves, Joe, we've presented our theories on how we would handle some of the worst PR nightmares in this whatever you call this?
Business that we're in?
This age of media, Joe, where everyone has flip cameras and phones. You can't get away with anything anymore. We've decided to bring in the best of the best to our knowledge of handling PR, one of the smoothest, coolest guys, dare I say, the best guy we know in show business, on the other side of the enemy lines, right here at Comedy Central. The one and only, the legendary, the man we all want to be, the guy's guy, Tony Fox.
Tony Fox.
Wow, what an introduction.
Welcome.
Oh, it's beautiful.
There is no way I'm going to live up to that.
Dude, you have no idea the way me and Joe, when we sit there and we talk about how we want to be down the road, it always comes around. Like we always go, we want to do this, we want to do that, and then it always comes around. Like Tony Fox. Tony Fox, he's doing it right.
Yeah, we were sitting at the desk downstairs. I said, I'm excited to see Tony. He's going to look like $1 million when he walks through the door. Sharp suit, tan. You know, we knew it, and you didn't let us down. You came in smooth.
Well, thank you, guys.
And the great thing, too, is his story was that he was kind of a knucklehead when he was coming up. You kind of alluded to that. Like right now, just to give background, is it accurate to say that you're basically the head of PR over here?
Yes, it is accurate. I'm actually the executive vice president of corporate communications for the MTV Network's entertainment group, which includes Comedy Central.
See?
So I oversee publicity for Comedy, Spike, and TV Land, though longtime comedy guy.
Well, you know what? We got to help you with the mic. Just try to hold them. There you go.
Okay,
right there.
closer.
Yeah,
all right.
There you go. Yeah.
There you are.
Well, now you got that whole impressive title. Now, what were you, like 20 years ago, whatever it was, 30 years ago, you were telling me that you were kind of the, as far as your family, everybody was going great?
Yeah. I have a brother who's 17 months older than I am, and he is a surgeon now, but knew he wanted to be a doctor when he was in high school. And, applied himself, did very well, applied to medical school, did all that kind of stuff. I was just the opposite. I was the black sheep of the family. My siblings, my parents always sort of wondered out loud, what are we going to do about Tony?
See, I was that guy too. As far as like, my dad used to be like, Jesus Christ, you're going to be living at home when you're 30. Just screaming at me. So you were that guy. This is why it gives me hope.
I was that guy, and I ended up taking a messenger job at HBO in 1980 to get my foot into the door of the cable industry and one of the brands sort of leading the development of the industry, and that was HBO. Didn't want to be a messenger for my whole career, but it got my foot in the door.
You didn't?
No.
It sounds like a
Amazing,
dream.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds like a dream.
That wasn't your goal. Look, Ma, I'm a messenger.
And I sort of backed into the PR career, but what I didn't realize in college and in high school, I was a big party boy. I told a great story. I had 1 million friends, and I just was sort of a natural-born PR guy and didn't realize it until I got into the position at HBO.
Didn't realize that was actually a job.
I didn't. I had no discernible skills whatsoever. However, in this case...
That's how everybody gets into entertainment.
In this case, I knew how to pitch a good story. I knew how to tell a good story, and I was working at a great company that had a good product, so I was successful. I worked in sports for a while at HBO. Mike Tyson was sort of their marquee fighter, and
speaking of PR,
he was a phenomenon.
Now, how did you handle that when you were? Did you guys necessarily have to handle that? I mean, you guys you would.
I was gone by the time he was biting the ears off his opponents, but it was kind of an interesting ride. He was a phenomenon. Not only was the youngest heavyweight champion ever, but he was unlike anybody that had come along really since Muhammad Ali. He was knocking guys out within the first round, often within the first minute.
Oh, yeah.
And sitting ringside at those fights, when Tyson hit somebody, you could feel the concussion on your skin like fireworks on the 4th of July.
Oh, you were at the fights?
I sat ringside for 26 Tyson fights in a row, and I got hit by teeth, mouth guards, sweat, blood.
Oh, my God.
And Trevor Berbick once knocked unconscious, landed on top of me. He came right through the ring on top of me.
I gotta go on
300
YouTube and watch
pound sweaty
those.
black man. It was quite an
Were
experience.
you there the one I've always said, the dude who looked like Geese Osby? We got to put the link up there. He knocked out this dude, black guy with like this afro. It was amazing. It was the 80s, but he had an afro from the 70s. Like he came in a time machine.
I think I was at that fight. That was in Vegas. I'm trying to remember who the guy was, but
It was early on because he
Yeah.
wasn't champ yet, and I think he was still wearing white. He might have had white trunks in that one. And
I
all
think
I
I know
remember
who
was
you're
he
talking about.
he knocked the dude out, and the guy got up, got a standing 8 count, and then Tyson came over, and it looked like he was trying to throw somebody out from the warning track. It was this overhand right, and the guy totally zigged when he should have zagged, and the last second he turns his head like, oh God, and I thought he killed him. I thought he killed him.
So what if you had still been around at that, at HBO when all the crazy Tyson stuff, what if you were somehow working on the behalf of Tyson, you get the phone call, it's not out yet, Tony, Mike bit a guy's ear, at the fight, obviously the cameras were there, but how do we handle this tomorrow?
Well, that's a tough one. I would probably advise him to hold a press conference and explain what happened during that moment. Obviously when you're in a fight, a championship fight, your adrenaline's flowing. You're trying to knock the other guy out. I mean, boxing is a sport about
look at him, beautifully spinning
knocking
it. He's
the
spinning
opponent
it. Your
unconscious.
adrenaline is flowing.
There you go.
So I would probably try and suggest in the heat of the moment, Mike did something that he later regretted. After the fight was over, he saw that he injured this poor opponent of his. Who was it he bit again? I'm trying to remember.
Evander Holyfield.
Yeah, Evander Holyfield. I mean, obviously, Evander had a great career. It was an egregious action on his part, and I think, in situations like this, you have to cop to the mistake. You have to admit you were wrong, and I think most people, in the media in particular, are willing to give you a break.
Do you feel that they love it when the famous person goes into denial mode? Because do you think they think, oh great, this is going to be like a 2-3 week story now?
The media does love that, and it's exactly the opposite of what I would advise. I mean, we talk about crisis management and cutting the head off the snake. I mean, the idea is to make the story end, and often the way to do that is to tell the truth. And in this particular case, he did something he shouldn't have done. He got suspended for it. I think you want to be contrite and say it'll never happen again.
What's the worst example you've seen recently of somebody they got just an absolute shitstorm, which I'm sure you're like, even if you're in a conversation, you just hear it in the background on a TV because you're like, oh God, here's a PR moment. You just saw somebody famous, something horrific happened, and you just saw them totally handling it. Like you just sit there like the way I watch a sporting event and I don't like the way it's going. Do you scream at them going, no, you just admit to it. Like the Tiger Woods thing we were talking about.
Tiger's a great example. I mean,
right.
And the big mistake that they made is they didn't come clean. They tried to act like nothing happened. I mean, Tiger Woods drives out of his driveway, God knows how fast, smashes into his tree. His wife is chasing him with a golf club and smashing windows out of his car. Something's wrong here.
Yeah, and they said it was like cold medicine or something, whatever the hell.
And I think if I were advising Tiger, and let's face it, this guy has millions of advisors, the highest paid advisors out there. They tried to pretend that nothing happened, and the media just wasn't going to not only believe that, but they weren't going to let it go until they got the truth.
So what would you have done?
I would have suggested
Let me hear the phone call. You're talking to, hey, Tiger.
Tiger, you need to admit to the media that you're having marital problems and that you're planning to deal with them, and you're planning to do that privately. I think what Tiger ended up doing is because he didn't deal with the problem, it just sort of hung out there. The media kept picking at it and allowed the media the time to start looking into what else this guy might be up to. If he's having problems with his wife, perhaps he cheated on his wife, where's the woman he cheated with?
Right.
And I think also the enormous amount of media attention that was created by this situation encouraged the people that he was out there messing around with to surface.
It actually gave them a way to make money.
Exactly.
Because he wasn't
exactly. They saw the media attention and they thought, wow, I wonder if I can sell my story here. If he had copped from the very beginning that perhaps he had been unfaithful to his wife and that he was planning to, make amends and do it privately and behind the scenes, I think the press might have given him the benefit of the doubt.
Do you
Can't guarantee that's the case, but I think that's likely what would have happened.
Do you agree with this career advice? This is what I would have said to Tiger before anything popped. I would have said, stop banging hookers, bang your loyal fans because they won't talk. Hookers are going to go to the highest bidder. They're all about money. You bang some chick from Des Moines.
That's a good point.
She's grateful.
Well, listen, I've always heard it's just the opposite. Hookers are the most reliable to have an indiscretion with because, they have no emotional connection to you. All they want is money. They could conceivably blackmail you, but any fan could do the same thing that any hooker did. This is Tiger Woods after all. If someone has him in a place where he's vulnerable, they might try and exploit that. So I don't know that fans would be any different.
That's the having a dick. It just, you practice and it just takes everything away.
Yeah.
Now how long so Tiger Woods, he goes out, he admits to what he does. Is it a written statement, no questions, no follow-up questions, right? Or
I would suggest no follow-up questions because you don't really want to get into it. And I think because it is a personal matter, it's involving he and his wife, I think you have some wiggle room in terms of your ability to say, hey, this is a personal issue. I'm not getting into any more details. I'll admit we're having some issues and we're going to work those out.
The Rex Ryan foot fetish thing, I thought he handled that brilliantly. He's just like, did you remember that? You don't remember? Okay, Rex Ryan, the coach of the New York Jets, he's into feet. The guy's into feet, and he made this freaky little video with his wife, and she was sticking her little fucking toes out the door. I didn't really watch it. It was just too weird for me. But, when he just came on, he just goes, it's a private matter. It's between me and my wife. And they just kept asking him questions. He just kept saying, like I said, you can ask everything you want. It's a private matter. And then they go, what do we say about your wife? And he just goes, I've been with 20 years. I love her. She's awesome. I was just like, and I hate the Jets. And I was like, I like this guy. He totally handled it. And then people still made the jokes. Hey, all Brady has to do is wear open-toed sandals and he won't be able to coach the game, blah, 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 blah. But
I think that's exactly the kind of thing that you want to do. You want to nip it in the bud, cop to whatever the situation is, and if it is of a personal nature, I think most people understand that, you're not obligated to talk about your sex life or what might interest you behind closed doors. I mean, that's just something that people accept.
All right, I think that certain people can get away with honesty when they know that you're already a little off. Like Rex is a little crazy. Like Madonna, when Madonna had the naked photos come out, when they discovered those, they used to bring people down, like Vanessa Williams and all these. But I guess she was the
Miss America.
Miss America.
But who gives a shit?
I'm just what?
Girls, Miss America, she can't show a clam to the public once in a while.
I know.
It's a big deal.
It's the 80s. How else did you make it back then? They're still doing that. Like, when you talk about PR, that just amazes me as far as like hype, is how Kim Kardashian, like 20 years after Rob Lowe made a sex tape and it like ended his career for like 3-4 years and all the Bible thumpers were freaking out. She makes a sex tape. That's what makes her. When I was flying out here, Joe, you know those plastic trays you put all your extra shit in as you're going through security? Her face is in there doing some sort of advertising. This girl who basically made it because she sucked the right dick on camera.
Yeah. No, it's unbelievable how much times have changed with that sort of thing.
Well, it was a very unoriginal idea. Obviously, Paris Hilton was the first to do it, and I'm pretty sure Kim Kardashian saw what that did for Paris's career and thought, well, why don't I roll a camera on this?
The video a little into being the party whore. It was like she was the party whore.
Yeah,
true.
Baby got out without panties. She had a nice build. You saw a quick shot of the clam, and she took it to the next level.
But as we talk about this, it goes big. There's an interesting perspective of the unapologetic nature of something. Kim put that out there. She didn't bat a fucking eye. She was like, yeah, it's out there. I don't give a shit. Like you were saying about the Madonna thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. We all know the Michael Richards incident, brutal thing.
Yep.
I always felt that his biggest mistake was the way he apologized. He didn't own it. He didn't go out there and go, hey, man, I was doing a show. It gets tense. I was angry. I fucked up. I'm sorry, all right? Instead, he wormed around and looked more weaselly, and it made you dislike him even more.
I think you're right. I mean? You're kind of substantiating what I just said. If you cop to it and you're honest about it.
What do you cop to there? Because the thing I understand him weaseling.
He lost his temper. He's performing, and you guys know better than anybody. You're out there doing stand-up, trying to hold the attention of the audience. You've got some hecklers out there. They happen to be African American. You lose your cool and you say something you regret. It happens. People do it. And I think
That
people
is the
identify.
nicest way of saying I said the N-word in the most hateful way 50
Well,
times.
yes,
God
yes.
damn it, you
and that's
did, Tony.
exactly why it requires him to be contrite and to own it, as Joe says, and to explain what he was feeling when he said it, the fact that he regrets it and will regret it for the rest of his life. Again, we have a very forgiving culture. We like to tear people down, but we also believe in redemption. And I think if someone like Michael Richards, who's a beloved character from a famous sitcom, he made a mistake, he owns it, he apologizes, and maybe even does something to make amends for his mistake.
Right.
You know, that's like Craig Kilborn in the early days of Comedy Central and The Daily Show. This guy, we used to make fun of him because we called him Ted Baxter. He was a newsreader and had no idea what he was reading.
Right.
He'd literally read stuff, and the big joke was one time the Secretary General at the time was named Boutros Ghali.
Right.
And Kilborn's reading the teleprompter, and he basically says, "Hey, guys, there's a typo here. You got this guy's name twice." And, of course, we're all chuckling like, don't you read the paper ever? So he and I
Or
were
watch
supposed
Letterman. That was a huge joke on Letterman.
Well, he and I were supposed to have lunch for the longest time when he was the host of The Daily Show. And we finally get it together when he's actually leaving Comedy Central. He's going to do his CBS show. And I felt at this point I could be very honest with him. And and he was sort of asking me for advice in terms of his career. He's going to network. You know, things are blowing up. It's going to be great. What do you think? And I said to him, you know, Craig, you need to convince the public that the character that they see every night on the TV show is just that. It's a character that you're playing. It's not really you.
Because why? Because he came
of his
off
vanity, because of his, you know, he's just kind of an idiot sometimes.
Right.
And I think, you know, to convince people it was a character as opposed to really him would have done him good. And I also suggested maybe you go out there and do some charity work and do things that show that you're a real human being, that you have feelings.
Now, did he get in a roundabout way? You were saying in a nice way. You know, you're kind of a dick.
I think he did. I think he did understand that.
Did he follow the? I don't think he followed the advice.
I don't know that he did. No, I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah.
So since you've been here, I don't want to get you in trouble or anything. How long you been here at Comedy Central?
20 years.
So you've been here basically from
the
almost
beginning.
day one.
Yeah,
when it was
I started
Comedy
at the
Channel.
Comedy Channel. As I said, I started at HBO. I left HBO to go to CBS Sports. Left CBS Sports after a year. I wasn't crazy about working there, and I went back to HBO shortly after they had launched the Comedy Channel.
Right.
And within 8 months, Comedy Channel merged with HA to become Comedy Central in '91.
Then you came. So you've been here. Basically, what's the, without getting you in trouble, don't want to get you in trouble here, what's the toughest situation you've had to deal with here as far as PR? Anything crazy?
Two biggies. One was Chappelle leaving. That was a really hard one. And I think, unfortunately, Chappelle mishandled his role in what happened. I mean, he decided to take off but didn't really explain why. And again, I think had he said, hey, I'm experiencing creative issues, emotional issues, whatever it happened to be, and we're not really sure ultimately what was responsible for him bailing on the show, but he just took off and didn't empower any of his representatives to explain what happened. And so what ended up happening is speculation. If you don't provide the answers, the media will try and come up with them for you. And very often those answers are wrong or inaccurate. So, you know, had his management said, hey, he's having some issues, he wants to deal with them, he'll be back, I think the media, you know, storm would have calmed down. But because they never answered that question, the speculation happened over and over and over, and this crisis lasted for almost a year.
Right.
So the key with good PR or putting out fires is not allowing speculation to occur.
Yes,
That's it.
I think, and doing it quickly, just like the Tiger Woods thing. You got to get in front of it. You got to deal with it in a believable, honest way. And again, telling the truth is one thing, and not lying is another thing. But you know, you can tell the truth or share part of the truth and not tell the whole truth and not be lying. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to say everything.
Whatever he just said was awesome.
Yeah, say that again.
Yeah.
The idea is you're sitting on a bunch of information. You can provide part of that information and be telling the truth, withhold other parts of the information, but because you've never been asked about it, you're not lying about it. So you're not sharing the whole truth, but you're not lying.
Right, and then
So
you
it's
can kind of
result.
keep him at bay
Yeah.
from finding
Right.
out that other stuff because what you said was true.
Right.
So it's like you're married, you go out with the guys, You come home stinking drunk. Where were you? I was out with the guys, and you just leave out at a titty bar.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah, I got it.
Yes. Now, if you smell like cheap perfume and you have, lipstick stains all over you, you might not get away with that.
The maitre d', his wife hugged me on the way out the door.
What a whore she is.
She was a battle axe, so she just had it all caked on. She looked like a goddamn kabuki here. Hey, so what was the other one?
The other one was really scary, and that was the Littleton, the shootings at the school out in Littleton. What happened was we're all in the office watching this crisis unfold, and they knew there were gunshots. They knew people were killed in this particular situation, but at that point we really didn't know what was going on. The guys who were responsible for all the shooting had not killed themselves yet.
Right.
The cops are waiting to charge the school, and so by the time I left the office, the crisis was still unresolved. By the time I got home, I got a call from our head of development out on the West Coast who was responsible for South Park, and she had just seen a news clip from Littleton, a local crew of several of these students in trench coats, one of whom was wearing a Kill Kenny South Park T-shirt, getting loaded into a police car, basically as if he were a suspect in these shootings. And we had already been through a lot of controversy with South Park and the notion of killing Kenny. There had been some kids that through the years who died and put Kenny in a suicide note. There was just a really
So now when something like that happens, is there like a red phone at your house that just starts ringing?
There is.
You have a special phone?
Well, there was, at the time when we launched South Park, because it was so controversial, we hired a company, a crisis management firm, Robinson Laird Montgomery, that were particularly good at this stuff, and they helped us put together a campaign, sort of an outreach campaign, to get support for the show long before it even aired. But in this particular night, when I got the call and I flicked on the TV, and it just so happens the news footage is on my TV as I flip it on, of this guy with the South Park T-shirt on, and I could feel the blood draining out of my head. I was literally felt like I was going to pass out. And Kenny Lair was one of the partners of Robinson Laird Montgomery. He's now one of the co-owners of Huffington Post with Arianna Huffington. Very, very sharp guy. And I called him up, and literally I was holding on to my bedpost thinking I was going to pass out and hit the floor. And I said, Kenny, explain this situation. The first thing he did was just get me to calm down.
Calm down,
sure.
Yeah.
Take a few breaths,
right.
And interestingly, I don't even remember the specific conversation, but we were planning to come up with a response. And before we even had to do that, it turns out the kid with the Kill Kenny T-shirt was not involved. He was released. He was not a suspect. And the crisis, I call it a near miss. And it literally like that, a near miss with airliners. The potential for disaster was enormous.
Have you ever had somebody, you gave them the advice, just go out there, do this, and this thing's going to go away, and then they go out with their ego and they think, I'm going to wing this thing, and I'll take a little bit of Tony's advice.
I am
you're just
Iron
standing
Man.
there going, you're fucking this whole thing up. You just did what I told you to do. Have you ever had that?
I can't remember a specific example of that, though. I do remember kind of a fun moment with Jon Stewart in The Daily Show. When Jon first took over The Daily Show, he was making changes to the staff. And the writing staff at The Daily Show, when Kilborn was there, a lot of them were former journalists who still had a lot of contacts within the media. And for instance, when Kilborn said that unpleasant thing to Liz Winstead in a magazine interview and got suspended for a week, he talked about, and she was his head writer, that if he wanted her to blow him, she would.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Did he know it was going out?
Well, and the funny thing is he was going out in this interview. I think it was an Esquire magazine interview, and normally we would send a publicist out on an interview like that. And Kilborn, very cocky and confident, like, don't worry about it, I got it covered.
I got this.
He ends up saying that. It ends up running in the magazine. We ended up suspending him for several weeks. Liz Winstead later quit The Daily Show. It was kind of a disaster.
And there's definitely certain groups that, like, you don't want to do that. Like, it's already like women are struggling to get equality. So like when a guy who looks the way he looks, who just looks like the privileged frat boy guy who, my dad went to Yale and now I'm going to Yale. And I'm just saying that is him, but he looks like that guy.
Right.
That's just a nightmare.
Right. Right.
Jesus God.
So how would you handle Charlie Sheen? Let's bring this up to this decade here. Wait, Joe's got a question.
Actually, this will be fun. Instead of asking Tony how he'd handle it, you should pose that to us, and we'll each tell you.
Oh, that's good. I like
tell
that.
us if we're close.
So we're talking about Charlie
Sheen.
Sheen.
Yeah.
So you go first.
Go ahead. Present something that you saw him do, and I'll try to get him out of it, and then you can grade us. See who's the better.
Yeah.
Who's less of a shithead between the two of us?
Let's see. And this is obviously something that really happened. I'd say, what would you do when the situation blew up here in New York where he's with the hooker in the hotel room right next to his family in the Plaza Hotel, blows up,
Jesus.
Tears the room apart. The
You're
hooker
going right
calls
to
the
the
cops.
final exam here.
Yeah.
What would I do? Oh, first thing I'd do, I'd snap and I'd start screaming at Charlie like, dude, I had the boat this weekend. The kids were coming over, you asshole. You couldn't even take her to a different hotel. This is what I would say. I would, oh, boy. Charlie.
This is not an easy, I don't know that there's a good answer to this one, but go ahead.
I would, well, what isn't fair is I already heard all of your advice, but let me try to put me 40 minutes ago and I didn't know that. Charlie, I would take money out of the bank and put it somewhere that your wife can't get it because you're going to get a divorce. You need to circle the goddamn wagons because this shit is over. And I don't know, just avoid the media.
All right.
Keep your head down.
All right.
Maybe we can
Okay.
get some people to show some, like Platoon and some of your more serious movies on TV so people remember that guy. Charlie, why the fuck did you do
That's the old
He did that?
shiny object, take a look over here,
Yeah,
the
I would
distraction
go shiny object.
strategy.
I would snap. I would definitely throw a globe across my office or something like, Jesus, that's damn near impossible. That's rear naked choke and an arm bar at the same time because his family's there.
All right.
That's how I would do it. I would just say, listen, just in case your wife files for divorce, I would just, take some money out. Say you blew it on hookers and coke and use that as your nest egg.
Set up a Cayman Islands account?
Yeah, that's what I would do. And then just when people ask you about the hooker, just say, hey, I'm Charlie Sheen. That's how I roll.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not bad, actually. I like the
You
second
like that?
part.
I got a little nod. All right, Joe, what do you got?
I'd say, Charlie, stage a press conference immediately. Go out there, and as soon as somebody goes, why did you beat her up? Say, because she was running her yap. And then walk up. No, I'm kidding. No, go out. I would say, yeah, I would play that whole Charlie Sheen. I can't remember who said it to me, but it's a great point. Somebody said to me once, they hired him to be Charlie Sheen on that show, and now they're pissed that he's being Charlie Sheen. I would tell him to play that card. I go, Charlie, you got to steer into this curve immediately and just go, look, you guys want to embrace me for being Charlie Sheen, and then when I do Charlie Sheen shit, you want to crucify me. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I got problems. Yeah, I make mistakes. Yeah, this got out of hand. It's not the first time. Hopefully it's the last.
Yeah, he
But I don't know
slapped
what to
her
tell you.
around.
What else you gonna do?
I don't know, Tony. What do you? All right, great. Who had the better?
First, you got to admit, she stole my watch, goddammit. No.
Oh, there you go. You got to somehow
but
blame the victim.
Both your responses are similar, and this notion of I'm being Charlie Sheen is kind of an interesting response because that is, in fact, the case. Whether you agree with that lifestyle or not, listen, he's a young guy. He's rich. He's single. He's doing what most guys, well, I don't know if
Would
I'd go
do
that
if they
far.
had-
But yeah,
they
I
had
mean,
money.
I think there are a lot of guys who would actually identify with the way he was behaving, though this situation clearly got out of hand.
I'd say the biggest thing is the family next door. If it was
Yeah.
just his wife next door, it's all adults, it's all above board. You're combining hitting a woman and your own goddamn children.
Yeah.
What, was she being too
Yeah.
loud when he was banging
And
her?
that's part of what
Family
gave the
feud.
fuel to the story is the notion that the guy could behave the way he did is bad enough, but he could do it next door to his wife, former wife, and 2 kids is just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
He could just say
nuts.
I'm method. I just go into crazy Charlie Sheen mode. I know. I would say that I'm bipolar. bipolar and I need to go to rehab. I would just
There
go
you
the
go.
hacky
Yeah.
way. Right
You
there.
go into one of those resorts for 4 weeks and
Yeah.
bang all the hookers you want.
Yeah, that makes you all of a sudden not bipolar or racist. Oh, yeah, like it's a drug addiction.
Well, going to rehab obviously has been sort of the blueprint for a lot of celebrities who get into trouble. They do something wrong, they admit they have a problem, then they go for rehab or sex addiction treatment, whatever it may be. You know, the idea obviously there is they're looking for sympathy. They have a problem. They're to be applauded for dealing with that problem and wanting to, recover from that problem.
Right.
So that's what, and again, I talked about redemption earlier. That's a lot of people, if they screw up and they try and make amends for that mistake and make themselves better, whether it's an illness or wherever it may be, or do something right because they have wronged someone else. I mean, I think people tend to want to forgive people who do that.
Yeah, Dennis Leary had that great bit on No Cure for Cancer when he was like, I want to get really famous. I want to get really famous. I want to smoke. I want to drink. I want to do a lunch of blow. I want to beat the shit out of everybody I fucking know. And then show up 6 months later on the cover of People. Sorry.
Well, it's
So
almost
true,
become
man.
a cliche now because so many people have done it.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, give us. We got to wrap it a couple
Now we
minutes.
got to ask him the guys questions before we get out of here. Like
Oh.
like how he carries himself. You got that Rat Pack old school vibe, He can go out.
Hard
he can,
partier.
You can go out. He can have a drink, but he never makes a spectacle of himself. It's like you ever watch The Hustler with Jackie Gleason and Paul Newman, and Paul Newman gets all shitty and messed up in the
Yep.
beginning, and
Yep.
what's his face? Jackie Gleason just sits there clean as a whistle. Finishes off the table.
this
Game's
is-
over, kid.
this
You
is-
got that vibe.
This is what it
Thanks,
is about
Bill.
Fox. This is what it is about Fox. Because
Even as a name, Tony Fox. How
I
can you
know.
not be cool?
110% agree with that. This guy comes. You've told me this before. I believe this was you that told me this. You come from this era. See, now everything is guilt. Now everything is your life is on camera 24 hours a day. If you're in whatever business, you're being judged 24 hours a day. Your private life becomes your professional life. All that bullshit. You come from this era where it was like, hey, man, yeah, I was fall down fucking drunk last night at the Christmas party. But you know what? I was at my goddamn desk the next day, and I got my work done. Go fuck yourselves. And everybody else went, yeah, okay. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's true.
Now you can't
it
do
is
that
a
shit.
philosophy that I've always had, in terms of my life. Work hard, play hard. I've known a lot of people that sort of subscribe to that notion, and it is. If you want to stay out all night partying, having a great time, you got to be at your desk at 9 in the morning. And it's
Tough
just
it
something
out.
I've always believed in. And you got to be, listen, you may not be as highly productive that morning than you were last week, but showing up is
Right,
99%
and also,
of it.
and don't do it every night. But if there's an amazing thing to go to, you go to it.
Absolutely. You only
Dude, this-
live once.
This
Lou
guy
Wallach-
is hilarious. Like everywhere you go, like I don't care where we were. One time I had to do some gig out in Jersey. So of course, I'm going to, take the train or sit there in the tunnel. I go, don't do that. He goes, take the boat. I didn't even realize it. We get on this boat. It's like the greatest thing ever. You just go by the Statue of Liberty and all this. But they got this little area where you can get a drink or two. And he comes walking in, and like 5 guys at the bar just go, Tony! The bartender's psyched to see him. Hey, it's like Norm or whatever. Not even
so
Norm. That's not
great.
a bad example. It's just like
Yeah.
he's the fucking guy everywhere he goes.
Lou Wallach has such a great story about you, and we just did this short film called Cheat, and Lou Wallach was one of the producers and investors on it. And
I
stuff.
love Lou.
But yeah, Lou has such a funny story about you. He said you guys were somewhere, some festival, maybe just for laughs or some shit. Last night of the festival, some huge party. You guys got to get on a 6 a.m. flight the next morning. He's like, dude, we are out till 4 a.m. just slamming drinks. We're in awful shape. He goes, we go back to our hotel rooms. He goes, I'm pounding on Tony's door at 5 a.m. He answers the door in his boxers. He's like, we got to go, Tony. We got to get on this plane. He said, Tony goes, all right, give me a minute. Shuts the door. 2 minutes later, comes out full suit. Looks like $1 million. He's like, let's go.
I don't even remember that, but
How do you, I don't
it
know how he
sounds
does
about
it.
right.
You look great, man. I don't know how you do. Like I actually I laid up the booze since what is it? October. Just because, you know what it is? My job, I don't have to be anywhere at 8 in the morning. That's the thing about being a comedian is that every night is open bar. Hey, you want a couple of Heinekens and a couple of shots of Jameson, and then I don't have to go to work again until 8 o'clock at night, and I got to work an hour. I mean, I would I don't know, my head was getting gigantic. I just had to stop. I want Tony Fox jeans.
Dude,
I think if I stopped drinking, I'd die.
Was that- How many doctors have told you about your lifestyle and just like, and he plays hockey, still plays full contact.
I'll be 55 this summer, too. I'm no spring chicken.
He's putting
but
Messier to shame.
Great, man. You look great.
Thank you.
You're the guy, dude. We came out to do that hockey benefit for your one son the one time, and everybody was gone, dude. I remember it was like me, you, and
at Danny's Steakhouse afterwards.
Yeah, Danny's, and you were still like, get this guy a shot. Let's go. You know, like.
And then because everybody in Danny's Steakhouse knows him. That's another thing, too. Tony goes, yeah, you know, I know this restaurant. Like, I know restaurants. Nobody knows me. He comes by, Tony! Everybody freaks out when he comes in. This guy, just born. You know, some people are born to be comedians. Like, you were just born to be a PR guy. I think that's why he's such a cool guy, because you're right where you should be.
Well, thank you, Bill. That's very nice of you.
As difficult as it is, it's sort of effortless for you because it's who you are.
You know, and I've been doing it long enough that I have a lot of confidence in the decisions I make. So it's just
Joe, look at his socks. Do you own a pair of socks as cool as that? Come on.
You are the old stuff, my friend.
Those are the Tony.
Thank
You're
you,
the real
boys.
deal.
You know,
born and bred.
It's getting harder to keep up, I'll tell you, with all the new social media tools, which I'm not proficient necessarily.
Yeah, how you been handling that with because I
You
feel
know,
like
I have lots of young
internet.
people who work for me who know how to use,
Delegation.
Twitter, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. Delegation, yeah. You got to have the people on your team who do know
I
how
get
to
it. You
use that
delegate.
stuff.
You want to avoid speculation. You tell some truth, but you don't tell all of it. Then you're not lying. Look how much we've learned here, Joe.
I love
on the
this
Uninformed
guy.
show.
I love this guy. We're going out next week.
I would love
The
to.
nice weather's here. Let's hit one of those bar decks out on the water out there and just have ourselves
I would
a night,
absolutely
man.
love to do that.
And before
we
we get
got
out of
it.
here, we got to take 2 pictures just for our listeners. One with all of us and one of that lamp over there that's made out of a bowling pin and has a shag rug shade.
That's from one of our old shows called Let's Bowl, from one of the creators of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I used to love Let's Bowl. The co-host was so funny. There was the straight guy, like straight man co-host.
Right.
Then there was the weird guy that
Yep.
like, want to come over and eat tacos later? That guy was so funny. I don't remember who he is, but that was funny.
I don't remember his name, but it was kind of an innovative show at the time.
You know, one show that I thought that got a rough time from the critics there, Joe, on Comedy Central, which I actually thought people didn't realize was BattleBots. Where people just made those robots, and everybody thought it was just the dumbest show ever because it's just,
Yeah.
2 inventions trying to destroy one another. And I just thought on so many levels it was an awesome show where one, like, who knows how to invent things? Like, how many Americans are actually good with mechanics and that, or any of that type? I didn't know. I didn't get any sort of background on that. So the fact that these guys could build this, and then also it was just sort of on the lowest level ever, like global, like conflict between countries, and then that's what you do is you try to invent something that can kill their shit that's trying to kill you.
Right.
I liked it. People just thought it was a bunch of morons.
Well, yeah, we took a lot of heat, even from Jon Stewart, talking about his lead-in being fighting robots. It was a bit of a stretch to call it a comedy, even though we had comedy commentators. But I think, the head of programming at the time saw it as something that he'd never seen before.
I would have put it on
compelling
after.
to watch. Probably would have made more sense putting it on something like Spike.
I
But
can't believe I just realized how long Jon Stewart's been hosting The Daily Show.
99, 2000.
Time ago,
yeah,
man.
since 99.
99.
January 99 he
I
started.
still think he's only been there for like 4 years. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
I still have like such this ripe memory of when he took over. I can't believe it's been
I finally
12
met him
years.
at we did that thing for the troops up at the Beacon Theater, and he hosted it. Coolest guy ever. Coolest.
He's a wonderful
down
guy.
to earth.
Wonderful
That's cool,
guy.
man.
Yeah.
He hosted one of the very first shows on Comedy Central in the early days called Short Attention Span Theater
to
with
love
a
that
woman
show.
named Patty Rosborough.
I remember that.
And
Yeah, I
that
know
was just
Patty.
hosted clips. John was skinny young kid. New to
He
comedy.
always had a show. He had a short-lived talk show. I remember on MTV.
That's right. This was
No,
before
wasn't
that.
short-lived.
even.
That was a hit, which turned into them trying to make him go on CBS, but he was too hip
syndicated
for
show.
network.
Yep.
And then it was.
And he was on Fox for a while with a talk show. His talk show went to Fox. Remember that?
I thought it went to CBS. Oh, went from CBS.
It was syndicated, and it probably ran on different stations in local markets, so it could
Oh, is that
run
what
on
it was?
Fox stations. But when you syndicate, different networks affiliates can pick up and buy the show.
He had like the cool late night talk show because
Yep.
he'd have all the bands that I
Yep.
was in 12th grade when that was on, or 11th grade.
Yeah, that was his
Bands you wanted
syndicated
to
show,
see,
which,
and, like,
MTV, it was an MTV show, and then it became a syndicated
That's
show.
right. Okay.
All right, well, we're winding down here.
Yeah.
We know you got all kinds of more PR work to do here. We definitely. I'm actually we're kind of crazy busy. I don't know about you, but I'm crazy busy for the rest of this week. But I'm coming back in 3 weeks. I'll be down in Caroline's. You gotta
let me
come
know.
down.
I would love
Three of
to.
us got to go out. We got to go out
Yeah.
old school, get a steak dinner.
I would
we'll
love
do it
that.
up Tony Fox style.
I would absolutely love that,
Let's do
guys.
it, man.
I'm
Let's do it.
Just a
All
phone
right.
call. I'm in.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Fox. Thank you so
Hey.
much for
Thank you,
gracing the
gentlemen.
show.
This
Thanks,
was
buddy.
a lot of fun. I appreciate it.
All right, man. All right, and that was the one and only Tony Fox. And Joe, we're right back at your apartment here in New York City, like time travel. Like fucking time travel. It's like we were here, then we went all the way down to Comedy Central, and now we're back. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I don't know what it was about that Tony Fox thing, but it almost felt like we recorded that the other day, and then taped the intro and the outro afterwards and
no.
spliced it all together.
Don't even put that out there.
Don't even put that in
let
my head,
anybody
right?
think that we would ever do that.
We wouldn't. That's a
put that
crazy
out
thing.
there.
All right. Well, so hardcore fans of this show, you remember back in the day we had the monologue jokes. We had women who ruined porn.
Yeah, we had bits, Bill. We had bits. We ended the show with a bit.
We had hooks.
We had a bit.
All right. So now we're gonna do. We got a new one that we're gonna come out here, and this is just something. Me and Joe were sitting here watching Netflix. Just a couple
Yeah.
of guys hanging around watching movies.
Yes.
And I forget what movie we were watching, but I remember we were just going, what the fuck ever happened to that guy?
We were watching an M. Night Shyamalan movie, and Bill said, what the fuck happened with this guy, man?
Yeah.
He came out swinging, and then I said,
What did he do? He made that movie with the kid who saw the dead
Sixth
people.
Sense.
6 Sense, and everybody's like, holy shit, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
That's like The Usual Suspects with a kid and Bruce Willis.
Yeah. There you
It's
go.
amazing.
There you go.
And then it just
Slowly
what the
stair
fuck?
step down from there.
The last one I saw was the one with Wahlberg in it, where he was like, there's a house? Should we go in it?
Happening.
And the guy laid on. By the time that guy laid down underneath the lawnmower, I wanted to spoon with him and let that thing ride over me. I remember in the middle of the movie, like a half hour into it, Nia just went, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we just sort of laughed the rest of the way. So,
It sucks. So this bit is called He Came Out Swinging.
oh, they came out swinging, whatever. We're going to bring up people, I guess, in the entertainment business.
Yeah. That just-
Or I would love to do it in sports, too, where... like that Jamal Anderson, the dude who used
So
to...
why we even...
He
you
did
know
the
I
Dirty
can't-
Bird.
You know I can't jump in on this,
He
right?
went right to the Super Bowl. He had a hit dance.
Let's stick to things that we could both talk
Joe,
about. I can't...
Joe,
I got nothing
why
to
do
add
you
to
always
that.
have to pull the tampon out of your fucking ass
That's like
whenever
me going.
I bring up
That's
sports?
like me going. Let's talk about a band that was on Discord Records in 1991.
Do it.
You would have no fucking idea what I
Do
was
it.
talking about.
I know I wouldn't, but I could fucking roll with it.
No,
Talk
you
about a
couldn't.
band. Talk about a band. Watch me roll with it. Oh, what band would that be? Discord
Well,
Records? Are you shitting me?
I can't think of a shitty band from back then, but
Think of a good one.
Here's a band I love. This is not part of He Came Out Swinging. I love this band. Fugazi, Bill. Man,
I know who
when they
Fugazi
came out
is.
with Repeater Plus 3, that was the shit,
They
dude.
were great.
Because they took the fucking EP that was in between 14 songs and Repeater.
They had the
and then
industrial rock sound.
No, they didn't. See? You can't stick with this.
Yeah, but no, I can roll with it though.
You're not rolling with it. They didn't have
No,
an
but you could,
industrial
or you
rock
could, sit,
sound.
or you could sit there and tell me about it, and I could
How about we
fucking
just
listen
do the
to
bit
it.
that we wrote?
How about you stop being such a
How
cunt?
about we just do the bit that we wrote? Look at all these names we agreed to
1,
talk
2,
about over
3,
here.
4, 5.
Yeah.
Joe, I threw out one guy. I wasn't going to talk about the fucking Super
I
Bowl.
broke your balls a little bit about it. Right away, you got fresh.
No, I didn't. I said bring up another band. I'm fucking rolling with it. Fugazi, my brother listened to Fugazi. I remember that. I remember he listened
Yeah?
to Fugazi. Yeah.
Oh,
he had
good.
Fugazi albums.
Yeah, my cousin loved that Dirty Birdie, whatever his name was.
Joe, you could easily sit there and go, wait a minute, he did a dance after the Super. Yeah, have these guys, they'd score touchdowns, they did a little
Ah,
dance.
what's fun with that,
And everybody,
dude?
and it would be a great time.
It's
you
fun
can
to
roll
break
with
your
it.
balls. Let's
You
do
know what
the
it is,
ones.
Joe? You like knowing shit.
It's not knowing shit.
That's-
We said and go, we're going to work out this bit. Let's do the
Joe,
bit.
we're on our way. We're on our way into the bit, Joe.
Should we start this over again?
No, Joe. Half this show is us yelling at each other. This is how the show started. We used to drink. We would yell at each other in a bar, and people were like, you should fucking do a radio show. And here's the magic. Here's the magic. And you fucking... Oh, Joe, I want to beat you with this microphone.
Well, I want to beat you with it because you know we only have 15 minutes, and you're going off on a diversion here.
And, Joe, we've done 423.
Yeah, and we got to get to another bit after this bit. So now we have 10 minutes to do 2 bits.
Joe... We can make this last as long or as short as we want. We're not on the clock.
I don't want it to be longer than 15 minutes. I want our listeners to have a nice chestnut of something here, and then they go, I want to listen to that again. Not they did
Joe.
2 hours and we're done.
Joe, we used to do 3-hour shows, and they were fine with it. They were fine. They were fine, Joe.
All right, let's keep going. Let's go.
No, there was no big deal. Joe, all I did was I threw out another name because I was nervous because we only had 5.
Busting your Bill, 5. We could talk about 3 of those, and it would take a half hour.
Joe, you could.
You could, too. These are all your ideas.
No, they weren't.
This one was, that one was. That's 3 right there.
I know, but it's going to be over in 2 seconds. Joe, you know, you watch movies, I watch sports. Dude, one of the guys you picked, I don't think is even right.
Then we'll argue about that instead of the sports guy.
Joe,
God
you're being a control freak right now.
I'm not being a control freak.
You are. You're watching the clock and you're telling me what I can talk about.
Do you remember before you hit record, you said, I'm going to make sure we don't go over 15 minutes? You said that?
Yeah.
Because somebody
and
told
Joe,
us?
Now we're 5 minutes in because you're being a cunt.
I'm not being a cunt. I said we got to get through 2 bits.
Joe, we're coming up on 6 minutes.
Let's not bring sports guys into it when I can't jump in.
You didn't say that.
That's exactly what I said.
Joe, all I do is I riffed one guy, and then I thought you were going to jump in and then say the next guy. That was all I did here.
All right. And I fucked with you a little bit about it, and you freaked. I was fucking with you a little bit.
No, I gave you shit back. I said, take the tampon out of your ass, and people laughed.
And then I said,
you know they did.
And then I said the Fugazi thing, and you go, I could talk about that, and you couldn't.
Yes, I could.
No, you couldn't.
Yes, I could.
No, you couldn't. You sound like a guy that didn't know what he was talking about.
No, but I could sit there and listen to it. Joe, when I bring up sports and you don't know what you're talking about, it's funny. That's actually a fucking bit on the show.
All right. Let's re-record this part.
No. We're leaving it all in.
Well, who's the control freak now? No, we're leaving it all in.
Joe, I already agreed to stop talking about sports. I've already agreed to keep it 15 minutes, and now you're telling me I got to stop? When does it stop, Joe?
I was going to say we should redo it again and do and then I'll roll with the sports thing for you.
Bring up the next name, Joe. For the love of God, let's stick with the fucking... We've never mapped out the... Go ahead, Joe. Here's the next one.
We came out of it. Fugazi wasn't even part of this. We came out of it. They're still swinging, Bill. They're still swinging.
Dude, Fugazi is swinging at what?
They're an indie rock band, dude. They're fucking great. They have a huge cult following. They do very well for themselves, Bill.
Don't you think they want to sell as many records as Britney
they don't,
Spears
actually.
1 year? Yeah, they don't want to be successful.
They don't. As a matter of fact,
they do not want to be successful.
They sink their own money back into Ticketmaster, so tickets to their shows are only $5 for their fans. They only sell their albums for $10 each. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They don't want to be successful.
No, they don't want to. They don't want to let their fans.
They
get
should
fucked
change the name of their band to Self-Sabotage.
You're an
How about
idiot.
why don't they change it to Need to Be Liked?
Yeah. No, that's what it is, Bill.
Yeah. Do they come out and put George Bush's head on a stick?
No, they don't, Bill, because you don't know anything about the fucking band. Like I said,
even though you're not enjoying this, listeners are.
Yeah. Well, let's pander to everybody all the time and never be nice to each other.
Why don't we just pander to your sense of humor? Terrible Those are 3 awful comebacks.
It just who me?
Yeah. Ugh.
Huh?
Those were your comebacks.
That's one. That was one.
You went ugh.
It's because you sound moronic. It's like schoolyard shit. You say things
Joe,
you have no basis.
It's not like you asked me what 2 + 2 was, and I said 5. You're talking about a band.
Yeah.
Okay, this is trivial.
And it would be like if I was you would have the same reaction if I was trashing an athlete. You would have the same reaction.
Joe.
And if I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about and trashing an athlete, you would be doing the same thing. You'd be going, you're a fucking idiot.
Joe, we do the bit on the show. We do the bit on the show where I go, hey, Joe, the Super Bowl this year is the Green Bay Packers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
What do you think? And then you go off on the thing, and it's funny.
You know what the difference is, though? I try to talk like a guy that's a fan. You're sitting here having a real opinion going, they stink. They don't want to sell records, really?
Back up. I went, yeah, you know, they got that industrial sound, and you didn't laugh with it. You're like, see, you don't know what you're talking about. You went that road.
I really want to record this whole segment. I think this went
don't.
completely off the rails.
I don't.
Because we're
I
not
love it.
doing the bits.
Joe, don't be a whiny cunt.
I'm not being whiny.
Joe, this is fun. This is what we do. This is why we have a show.
All right.
Joe, do you think they give a fuck about the bit at this point?
Yeah, you're
They're
right.
just laughing.
You're right.
They're laughing at two fucking
You're
cunts
right.
screaming at each other. They probably just made some more Jiffy Pop.
All right. He came out swinging. M. Night
This
Shyamalan.
episode, this bit idea came out
already-
swinging. M. Night
we already
Shyamalan,
covered
ding dong.
M.
All
Night.
right, we're right back in it, Joe.
We already covered it.
We're on the rails. Bing
Yeah.
Crosby and Bob Hope.
We're going to go down the list. Carl Weathers.
All right, let me
Came
hear.
out strong.
Wait, really? Yeah. Okay, we can
The
jump to the
movie
next
he
one.
was in before Rocky was Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He plays an army guy that has 4 fucking lines. That's it. He walks on. Close Encounters came out in 77, for Christ's sakes. That's right before Rocky came
I thought
out.
Rocky was 76.
Oh, well, then Jesus Christ.
No, but you know what probably happened was he
shot that first?
shot that first. So Rocky hadn't come out. Yeah, by the time Rocky came out, that's right. Rocky
Yeah.
comes out in 76. They're like, holy fuck, they were probably already shooting Close Encounters, which I didn't like that movie.
I liked it.
Richard Dreyfuss.
I didn't see the whole thing. Don't tell me the end. Don't tell me the
I'm
end because
not.
I forget. I
But
I
you
haven't
got
seen
to the
it.
part where Richard Dreyfuss is just throwing clay around and he's figuring
Yeah.
out the flying saucer.
Yeah.
It just didn't seem like there was a lot of talented people in it. It just didn't seem like there was much of a script.
You know what the funniest part is? You know what the funniest part is? Is him and the lady are the only two people having the visions of that mountain. And he does that thing where he rips up all his neighbor's trees and her chicken wire, and his wife and whole family leaves him. The whole
I
neighborhood
didn't
gets
get
going,
any
you're a
of it.
lunatic, and he's building that big thing in his house. And then he sees the mountain on TV, and he's like, that's where I got to go. And then it cuts to the lady, and she sees it on TV. And you see behind her, she just has drawings of the mountain. And I just pictured them having a conversation of him being like, yeah, I was fucking ripping up my neighbor's trees, and I pulled and mud in my living room. And she's like, really? I just kind of sketched mine. You know, like,
All I remember was
got some
for
crayon.
years I wanted to see it. I remember when it came out. I'm old enough to remember when it came out, and everyone was talking about how fucking amazing it was. And when I finally saw it, I felt that it was. I think it was maybe it was for kids. It's kind of like when I finally saw Star Wars, and I was like, "What the fuck was that all about?" Dude, I swear to God, every time I watch Star Wars, when they're in Arizona, when they're at the beach, the sandy part,
yeah.
dude, I fall asleep every time.
Oh, Jesus, Bill.
I fall asleep.
Oh, boy. All right.
I like Empire, and the last one
Empire's
with
great.
the little bears. I hate that one.
Yeah, I don't like Jedi a lot.
They're sitting there screaming. And I always hated C-3PO.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Arrogant
I got
ass.
You. I got you. I can
Yeah,
go with you on
arrogant
this.
ass. All right, so Carl Weathers
I can go
does
with you on
those.
this. Sorry.
Now after Carl, then Carl Weathers. Well, Carl Weathers was able to be in 4 of them. He gets killed by Ivan Drago.
Yeah, but by the time he was still in the 4th Rocky, that was like Screech still being on Saved by the Bell in like the 12th season when it was like they were so old that he was
Right.
out of college and he was like teaching college kids. You know what I mean? They're like, dude,
Well, he
just go. Everybody else moved on, you know?
They finally gave him his own vehicle. He did Action Jackson.
Craig T. Nelson was the bad guy in that.
All
Coach.
You're going to
Coach.
tell me Action Jackson was worse than Cobra? Those were all ridiculous movies.
Now,
I almost have to give him a pass because that was a black dude trying to be a fucking movie star outside of those stupid Shaft kind of movies. He was trying to get
80s. They weren't making those movies anymore.
No. What I'm saying is it still wasn't easy. It was like there was Eddie. Look, we have Eddie. Why do we need you, Carl? It was like all that classic shit that all those Def Jam comics used to
All right.
complain about. Like they just would have one famous black guy at a time. They'd have Richard Pryor, and everybody else could go fuck themselves. And then when Richard slipped, then
He
they
wasn't
stuck
Predator.
in Eddie. He wasn't Predator, but that to me is more of like Rocky. I don't know about Carl Weathers because I don't think they ever gave him a shot.
All right. I'm tapping out. I'm giving you that one.
All right, I got
That's
one
good.
for you.
That's good.
They came out swinging. I'm going to go Heather Graham. She was an it girl. That's hard being the it girl. She came out roller girl. She showed her whole fucking tuft, everything. She was fucking, she was And they were just like, this girl is going to be the next, she's like Meryl Streep, but you want to fuck her. Wasn't that what they said? They had it right up on the billboard, Joe?
Yeah, it said that. It said that.
Not in the red states. They couldn't handle it
What's
in the
her
red
face
states.
said that? Martha Stewart said that. She had her on the show, and she said, this next girl is like Martha Stewart, except you want to finger her.
Yeah.
She said it just like that.
And then she put her apron over her head because she was embarrassed.
Yeah, and then she started punching herself in the cunt.
It's so childish. Yeah, she came out swinging. I haven't seen her in a movie since like 1999.
She's still in stuff, but like well, first of all, she's not a good actress. I feel bad saying that because she's so hot. And she seems like actually like a very sweet person, but she's not a good actress. So she was in.
I feel like she's reverse Sharon Stone, where Sharon Stone started off in the B shit and then got credibility and then got into some A stuff.
You know what?
She went the other way around.
I'm going to give Heather Graham a pass because Heather
'cause
Graham,
she's beautiful.
Heather Graham is the female equivalent of Mark Wahlberg. She was great in Boogie Nights because that's all she could play is like, oh really? I think it's great, like some ditzy broad. And then when they tried to put her in shit where she wasn't supposed to be ditzy, she still sounded ditzy.
What else did they stick her in?
Oh, she was in that movie Bowfinger with Steve Martin. That was
remember
like right
that.
after.
Yeah, but did they ever give her her own star vehicle?
She had a sitcom for a little while recently that came and went. She's done a lot of bit parts. She was in a lot of independent things. She was in that Farrelly Brothers movie about the brother and sister that are like in love with each other that like didn't make any noise at all.
Matt Damon's on the outside of the bus and he's connected to the other guy.
No, that's Stuck on You.
Yeah.
But she's the Wahlberg equivalent. She's,
Well, let me ask you this, Joe. What do you call somebody who is in the movie and when they do the TV version of the movie, when 98% of the cast says, fuck that, I'm going to keep doing movies, but they get someone who was in the movie to agree to be on the TV show? What is that called? Because I'm a sports guy, Joe. In your comic book superhero video game playing world, where you guys, you and Neil last night sat there. I had to tap out. I'm watching the NFL draft in a pizza place, and you guys are going on and on about movies.
I think the term would just be failure. You lost.
Well, I figured, they got the jump the shark. I would figure that
there's no term for that.
There was like, remember that one, that movie? I was going to say not Square Pegs. What was the movie where they were like? That chick who was in Poison Ivy, she was in the Aerosmith video.
Alicia Silverstone.
Silverstone was in that, like, oh my God, you guys. Remember that movie?
Clueless,
yeah.
Oh, then they did the TV show, and one of the chicks was in the TV show too.
Stacey Dash?
I think so, right?
Yeah.
Stacey Dash.
Jesus
Is
Christ.
a piece of ash.
She's a piece of ash there, Joe.
So I don't know what the term is, but what are you saying? If they made a TV series of Boogie Nights, who would be the one that's in the series?
Isn't that going down swinging? I mean, you were in the movie, and then shouldn't you be getting another movie? And then you can't, and then they turn the movie into a TV show.
Never do the TV show.
Ever. It never works out.
No matter how fucking broke you are.
Unless it's MASH. That's the only one that ever worked out.
Who was in the movie that was in the TV show? Harry Morgan?
No, but I'm saying MASH actually worked out where that was an Academy Award. I think that won Best Picture or something. They won some sort of Academy Awards. And then they made the TV show. Oh, came out swinging. McLean Stevenson.
But I'm saying...
Joe.
I'm an Odd Couple, too. Odd Couple was a hugely successful TV show. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the movie. I meet more people that are fans of the TV show than are the movie, which I think is a little crazy. But
I got one for you, Joe. McLean Stevenson.
What about him?
This is before your time. He was on the first season of MASH, and his reps told him he needed more money. He was too big for this shit. I brought this up before.
Yeah.
He leaves MASH with like two other fucking people. Leaves.
Yep.
Goes on to do a sitcom called Hello, Larry, which was the name of his character. He just played a guy who had his own radio station in Seattle and a couple of kids and blah, blah, blah. I actually liked the show. It fucking tanked. And that was after they gave him another sitcom, and that one tanked. So he had two tanks. He ended up quitting MASH to be the fucking the guy in the bottom row on the Match Game.
Jesus Christ.
Bill told Joe to stick that microphone in his blank.
Match Game and Hollywood Squares are perfect examples of the convergence of celebrity. It's people on their way up or people on their way down.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
That's it.
That's it. Like that's so funny, man. The McLean Stevens, great example.
There you go. Who's the next one, Joe? Let's stick with the bit. Who do we got next, Joe? Coming out of the wire.
Bill, next we got a guy named Go Fuck Yourself. I retract my opinion about this one. I want to take this one back.
We're up to 19 minutes, Joe. So
all right, so let's
retract quickly.
I initially said Dan Aykroyd, but I disagree. I like Dan Aykroyd a lot, and I respect him. And he did a lot of great shit. He just had a lousy run, but now they're doing Ghostbusters 3. I think he's going to swing back in again.
Yeah,
I
wouldn't say that he didn't come out swinging. He'd come out swinging if he did SNL, and he never did anything else. But he came out SNL. She was great in Trading Places. Then his problem was he said yes to fucking everything. At some point, Joe, when I'm drinking again, whatever, I'll eat a fucking pot cookie. We have to sit down at some point and watch Dr. Detroit. The two most unforgiving things he ever did was Dr. Detroit and speaking in that falsetto in Caddyshack 2.
Which can and does happen. Yeah, your testicles up to a car battery. That was the worst or best.
Dude, he came up with
example
that
of
doing blow on the way over to the set.
Jesus Christ.
There's no fucking way.
Best example of Bill Murray said no. You know, dude, Rodney Dangerfield jumped out of that at the last fucking minute. Bill Murray passed on it. The only one that went back, there you go. Fucking who goes back and does the TV version of the movie? Fucking Chevy Chase was the only one that went back.
I did the movie.
And did Caddyshack 2.
Was he funny in it?
He's the only redeeming part of the whole fucking
he's
movie.
Fucking hilarious.
And
that guy is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and even his part isn't that funny, but he's the only times you would laugh are when he's...
Let's move on to the next one. And then this was my suggestion. Pretty much 98% of the entire cast of American Pie.
No, I'm going to go with the entire cast. I can't name one guy.
The guy who played Stifler.
Oh, yeah. All right,
yeah,
Stifler.
He's great. Come, to what he did in Old School alone.
Yeah, Stifler rules.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome. But everybody else, that Jason Biggs guy, I mean, Jesus, he was everywhere.
I love that guy.
They were comparing him to Tom Hanks.
God.
Where is he?
And there's nothing that we could do about it, Bill.
It was some real greaseball shit.
Dude, he's gone.
He got whacked.
Tara Reid went off the fucking deep end.
Yeah.
What's her face? The hot one that was like, oh, I was stripped for you on the internet. The fucking Elizabeth. Yep. The fuck was her name? Shannon Elizabeth. Fucking gone. You're out of here.
Yeah. She's a sweetheart too.
Who else? Oh, the kid, the jock kid that sings in the chorus by the end of the movie. Chris Klein.
Oh, I thought that was Russ Maneve. The dude who looked like Russ Maneve.
Yeah.
He never did anything.
I thought he was the next fucking, what's his face?
Johnny Bravo.
No, what's his name? He was the next
Joe,
you
know one of the great things about never really succeeding in life is you can have this conversation and no one can talk about you. Like, hey, whatever happened, like me. How far down did I fall from I Love the 80s Strikes Back to doing a podcast with your dumbass?
One other person in the cast did very well. That fucking Allison Hannigan. Because she left.
One who stuck the flute up her cunt?
Yeah, she left. She went on. She did Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which was a huge fucking show.
There you go.
Now she's on How I Met Your Mother.
There you go. And I hope this doesn't come off mean-spirited, Joe, because I want everybody. I hate seeing this. Like one of my favorite behind the music, I think, was Vanilla Ice because he still had his money. He was sitting poolside. Everybody's laughing at him. At the end of the day, he had his fucking house and his pool. Go fuck yourself. I hate seeing him when they're like, putting up billboards and painting houses.
Yeah.
And then they just try to I'm at peace with it. I mean, I had a good time. It was fun while it lasted. I mean, I have more fun in those years, and
so sad.
But I mean, I'm running this internet company, and I like it. I like being in the business world. Like when they showed Larry Wilcox after he did Chips, and he was fucking. He was like in Northern California running a business. John Baker.
Yeah, but was he like, hey, I'm good with it?
He was.
I don't mind if they're
he
like,
was in a
I'm good
house,
with it.
Joe. You and I could scrape money together and put a down payment on. It was depressing. Eric Estrada, for as much as they gave him shit, he said, fuck it. I'll go to Mexico. Became a huge star there. Kept banging away.
Was he a big star in Mexico?
Huge.
Really?
Fucking huge.
I didn't know that.
Eric Estrada's got money.
Oh, shit, man. Good for
Eric
him.
you're fucking right. Marvin Hagler said, fuck boxing. He went to Italy.
What did he do?
He became a fucking star. Made his money. He had his mob money for throwing the fight against Sugar Ray Leonard, right? Took that, and they say, listen, we'll give you this bag of money, just don't ever come back. He said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Went over there. I don't think he threw the
Marvin,
fight.
you're going to feel a sting when you get to Italy.
All right, let's wrap up this
That's
uninformed
pride.
Joe.
Fucking with you. Come on, Bill.
What's
Can I
that?
do the Pulp Fiction reference on that?
What's that?
You're Marvin, when you get to Italy, you're going to feel a sting in the back of your neck. That's pride fucking with you. That's the fucking speech he gives.
I don't.
Nothing.
I remember that. All right.
All right. Oh,
Last
geez,
thing, Joe.
Bill.
We're wrapping up here, Joe. I think it was a great
All right,
episode.
yeah,
It's a great
that's it.
episode. We were silly up front. We had Tony Fox in the middle.
We got an
argument in there.
Yeah.
Now, never underestimate the arguments,
All right.
Joe.
Folks, we're coming back. We're doing this again. Uninformed. It's going to be a hour 20 podcast, whatever it is. We're bringing back the old bits. We're bringing back the guests.
We're going to be
It's
leaving
happening.
you wanting more. We'll give you one last thing. Joe, old bit, what's keeping you out of heaven? What's the matter?
I thought we should have ended it there. I thought we ended it good.
I thought we ended great. Let's fuck it up. What's keeping you out of heaven?
What's keeping you out of heaven? Bill, I talked about this very briefly on the O&A show, and I won't give too many details, but I recently on the road got a blowjob and had my asshole fingered by a lovely woman. I really did like her. I had a great time with her. And then the next morning she got up at 7 a.m. and she goes, I got to go pick up my kids. And I was like, I could feel the fire and smell the brimstone, Bill. That was it.
Wow.
I just pictured her licking, you know when your kid has like chocolate on his face? I pictured her licking her thumb to wipe the chocolate off his face and then knowing that the next finger over was in my poopa.
Jesus Christ, Joe. We really should have ended. I was really hoping you weren't going to tell that
Let's
story.
just cut
again.
this out. Edit this part out. We don't need to do another bit right now.
Okay. All right. You know what I'll do
All right.
here? No, just shut up for a second.
Oh, geez.
No, because I'm going to cut this out. Just have a pause. I'll edit this, and then I'll do the ending.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, so that's it. That's the end of the Uninformed. We're going to start doing these again. I know we keep saying that shit, but you got to hang in. You got to believe us. You know, as much as we're being cunts, we're not as bad as Axl Rose. All right? We'll see you.